aye GH Live TV. And I feel GH Live Radio Online. Aye Kasiabo and Specials. Mimo Bibia Akwaba Ediba GH Live TV. And I feel GH Live Radio Online. Kasiabo and Specials so. Kasiabo in Sama Ebedu Mwakoting Ebi NSA. And they know and the United States of America. Edi caution more dim papa. Abedum Ghana for enam anti-LGBTQ plus 1 bila. Ayer mashebe jefie apasi a washe anymore. Se Ghana mampenyi ebe signing. Na yebebo edi era eye sikasemo. No way na babetojwa. Se eni Ghana eba no crime pa dia. Naturally say aye asim for sukrono. Oho ena katashene proye dream kan adoso ewo ho papa a enya sem ketuwa yekofo enso edi wonano atosa insemi emubie ora professor Adaina Kasedi atujwa se weni ewo tu eye Dr. Mahmoud Bawomia for papa enam na bede jire ho nsensem se hye na wankwan kofa ma mefrema se na bedi echire insemi ebi eka ho eno semufo asemukrojen yede ebeso mu se GH Live TV NFA GH Live Radio Online Kasiabo ahose specials midin ede nana achua akuma amwako ye streaming live our Facebook GH Live TV NFA GH Live Radio Online Jibrei na mefa Kasiabo no emu enchemu emesomo Yebeshe Kasiabona si say yeshe Kasiabono asidia na yebesha se edi free LGBTQ plus eni ya ekika hono na ena wo se Ghana mashebe dwefie kwa setina enrada na womo epasi anti-LGBTQ plus bill a washe ni mo se Ghana mampenyi his excellency Nana Adodankwa Ekufuado ebe signing na etumi abeye emra ewo manimu na sanfo na wode wo ho ehye LGBTQ plus nyina sesi ade ye criminalize wo won ye chiwa enye je say straight 3 years na akwadam na enam sansem ni mu ena eye United States ato ankrata tin edi abedom Ghana eye womo kasamafo yewo US Department of State ede tu just say wo hwe bill ya wo ma pass ye awomo ehwe animu wo se mampanyi besan ase no ede ohaw kese papa ene beba abedom Ghana ne tituru eni yesikasem sikasem ebe kofoma ma yentumi enye ye ho hwe na wasansem ni mu no ena wona bi omudi mu akwotene pa wo Ghana mechire eye owura Clement ni nsem bi tudwa no wo kire mu se o hwe ensem pa wode aba betudwa eyo owura Emmanuel Kwesi Bejra wode nsem bi atudwa se US for krata ten wo mo deputy panyini pa Dr. na se William Satrode betum Ghana for no se yesikasem ebekofo se yesikasem economy no besi ni trase no wo se emfa Ghana ho enunti no Ghana for eya ahoboa papa sese ne etie bia ye bekoso na ye gina ya namonso odensem we nyinada etudwa wobra wone Joy FM for etwetwe enkomo ana wo kire mu se Ghana eyomamu ye sovereign nation yankasa ye betumi atena se na ye sikasem ne yankasa bu ho akonta ye ho adwuma ama netumi egina nanamonso na wasansem ni mu no na academic na afenso no researcher Dr. Amanda Odoi enso de nsem bi etudwa efa ho nsem no sei enete.
I think there's one thing I want to draw attention to before I move to this question is the fact that advocacy is not opinionated. Advocacy seeks to drive the interest or a cause of something in the extent of causing a change. It can be policy, which is systemic. It can be an individual form of advocacy, which a group come together to make a claim or push for an agenda. And it's informed by research, it's informed by activities, it's informed by data. And then there's self-advocacy. So LGBT persons could have done a self-advocacy, but our group moves beyond self-advocacy to look at the impact of this bill on the group, on the society. So we've sat down, and that's the sad aspect of it, that we've sat down and a group of people with a particular interest have pushed for a law that affects the entire country. So we have a bill or a law which has not been assented yet that talks about the fact that if same-sex relationships, it's anal sex or any forms of unwanted sexual activity as they have defined in the law, it's just limited to queer persons. But then when anal sex, which can be detrimental to the health, as they are claiming, also to women when they are forced to have anal sex in heterosexual relationships. But we are saying that, well, with the power in our hands, we can discriminate against a certain gender whilst we give certain limitations to a certain group. We also have instances where people's lives are going to be monitored. So at first, queer people have lived with us. Actually, there's evidence to show that queer people have always lived with us. We have gone to school. The reasons why we have norms and
Amanda Odoi ono academic research anene ena yakotie na wansembi mu ansono mrashebedwani awo ginemu edema dehia womo ewo nigo pram ora Sam George ono so ekasa nsemi ho ne nsem ni
work. I expected that you would do better this time. I asked you 2 weeks ago on Newsfile to show me what part of the Constitution of Ghana, the 1992 Constitution, gives people rights based on sexual preferences. You can't just come on national TV and say that people have rights. Rights are defined in Ghana's constitution. And this also deals with the misinformation put out by Dr. Amanda Odoi. Rights are defined in the constitution. Even the right to life can and will be curtailed by the state on certain grounds and basis. All the rights in the 1992 Constitution are premised on the fact that they are not injurious to public safety, public health, and public morality. It is clear that the proponents of this pro-LGBTQ agenda read the Constitution in bits and pieces and omit certain parts. Because if you read the 1992 Constitution that you say gives you rights or gives the people you advocate for rights, did you read the Constitution to realize that rights can be curtailed on the basis of public morality? And do you understand what morality and public morality is? Do you understand what public health is? Dr. Amanda Odoi admits that in the course of their work, they have to deal with people who are at risk because of their sexual activities. And you don't think that that constitutes public health? And again, the misinformation. I don't know if she's referring to the bill that myself and my colleagues have authored. But you see, people have created their own impression of the bills and are fostering their misinformation and miseducation on people. First and foremost, I mean, several of the claims she's made here that you can't go and apply for a job. Why? When you're going to apply for a job, does anybody ask you who you slept with in your bedroom? Am I the one asking LGBTQ practitioners to define themselves by their sexuality? What happens in the confine of your bedroom remains the business of you and your partner. Nobody's coming into your bedroom to find out what's going on. But when you decide to define yourself by what is supposed to be your private sexual preference, then it becomes a matter of public policy, and public policy will apply to it.
womo ewo ningo pram pram ora Sam George any ekoti ye na ye beda ye ho ewo ensamfu from former rector at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration GIMPA Professor Stephen Adai and Akasein no the zembi atuja say nei usha oman Ghana yesikasem senia afro akwa kodro na ehon totoye aye basa inflation rate kwa na ekoso yesikasem atetia propansam aye hu ne hwa no eno na wo kirem say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ebeye ne ho se ho akuntabuo obeyi ne ho di afirimu dia ene wone no enya adwen wo kwambia so o kire ni nsem se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia eka eye Ghana yesikasem asese no esi ni trasi afei ena yepe ho asemaka esan se wono eni onipa na wodi esikasem eni ewo manimu indi se obeyi ne ho edi afirimu no eya ade a ebeha adwen ye papa enu achi no de tudwa se opese oyo kanini na wodi ne huni eba no akuntabuo nso so ogbo ne ho wode ne pa na Ghana fo etumi enya gidie wonim hu dia ye fe no akuntabuo no fa ne hu nsem no mani nya adwuma ewo na abemu se ne be ya Ghana adehye ne nyinada ebetumi enya ne mu egidie ode sansem we nyinada etudwa enam yesikasem ho kwane ba atoche ma se me no wo ka sei atoba ha ho asem no yegusu ekam ode sem we nyinada eto join news central for anim eye ende February bosum ne toso aduonu enkron wa afiye mu Yebeda ya no ho sokokopie mo ewo Asinfosu Central na no ni aba beto dwa ene se eye Economic and Organized Crime Office aye twenitiawa aye ni yoko ene no opanyimfo omuda no akasa eye Deputy Head Edema Legal and Prosecution aye Owura Anthony Siama wakasa papa se wo ba ye mani mu pa ni ye frɛ no kro ne bo se ye wia robi banke ye fraud ahodo pa dia na ni titu no ekura e free so eba wo mani mu eye Asinfosu no ewo imfinfi mantem na woto ane nsɛm so eka se selfo ni nada wo mo ebo wo homode ne pa se won sa ebeso wo mu na wona woni kan achi won so no ye nya achi won ne ye toto wona no na ye bisabisa won se hina neta wechi a osihwe MP we minim no hwe minister we okan ho hwe ene ma hwe bedu ni we nna na ye adwuma na chese wo kirema amanyofo a ewo se won na edi animu na kata hwe dream ni proya adokro ye man corruption yipa a ye pe etu ase no safo ni nyinada ena ehihye ase ema kronobo akese a ekoso wo manimu no wo mo eye no ewo Asinfosu no ewo mfimfi mantem na woto ane nsam so edi tudwa se ukopie mu ewo mfimfi mantem eye Asinfosu a ene krono kese pa ene corruption kese pa ekoso ewo ho no eye human trafficking papa se ya chi nipa asimesi na ye ton no ye di no sika human trafficking ekoso ena fenso no bank fraud so ombetena se na omatimi abo bank bia po awie sika puduo every sa bank nimte eno ena ekoso ewo ho Owura Anthony Siama nense medical ni.
In the past 3-4 years, some of the investigations that we have conducted, especially in reference to an area like Asinfosu, which has become a hotbed, you realize these structured groups exist where they have built or have membership within even the banking communities, telcos, where they are able to get information to facilitate on these criminal offenses. You are also looking at, we've also investigated some of the human trafficking rings around, and they even have a more structured look, where they have about 3 or 4 5 layers in terms of leadership and hierarchy, where there is a reporting direction in terms of it flowing from the bottom to the top. So there's control, and these people have, again, strategic alliances. So you realize that we bust the ring, we are conducting investigations, and certain caliber of persons show up and have...
Which caliber of persons?
So you were talking about people who claim, oh, I'm from here, I'm from there, When I say I'm from here, you were talking about maybe politicians. I have this politician's number. I have this person's number. I have this person's contact, and then you realize that, or you try to create a contact as to why he should have that kind of person's number. But again, these are some of the problems that we are facing. What we've noticed, or we are noticing, is that now criminals tend to divert the monies or the things, or liquidate the assets that they have gotten, and then store it in crypto wallets. Basically, that's what we are.
And then no be PM and also PM I was for sure. Adishia one modi wa home share at dress mono. Corruption ye kwasui, money laundry ye kwasui. Says ya dear amo at the far dear friend cryptocurrency super. Ano wadi sika every amahodo so. Eba or minimo. Na no aqua como jume dear hono ayedin papa. Yet work as your bonnet sudia near Bebo Eddie era Dr. Mahmoud Bawomia. Near bed the children and semi more. Ne free say ya pow no se from Katrini the ma MPP Amanyoko. And Agana Duduana. Amafo kikan se ne nipa simesi. Obetumi ase afata. Eyo mampenyi abede chire ebreno. Amafo bubo dina ebi ekobo Dr. Matthew Oboku Prempe. Dr. John Kuma. Osei Chairman Sabonsu, Joseph Osei Owusu, and a face no Edimbi Kopia Monso, a Kane Chairman, Edema Church of Pentecost, Professor Opoku Onyina. Now say no Edim Fufra Babetoja, and no a Chief of Staff, Mami Frema Osei Opare, and a fe no Communication Minister Esla Owusu Ekufo. Now was answer semi mono, and a Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade, Akasa Ewa. Papa. Oye economist, administrator, afensono ebane emuma obane homodin atrotro bipa. Kane no and a director general, and afenu rector Edema Ghana Institute of Management, and a public administration. Oran Stephen Akasapa. Say o true Dr. Mahmoud Bawumiafo. So before the foot di ankebe buane papa. Ama na batron hon zenzem no etumi akonkan. Enu no wo chire mu se edin aba beto dwaye ma mi fremedin. Say wono na penyin kesie enyi no. Say na bedi e chire no. Ewo mu se ma mi frema adwunu mu edom. Na woni mu de papa nso woni nwumadi a wodi wo man ho. Na nso so no ntuni fuda. So onfa ma mi frema enye no bedi che san se Kobanisa, Ebeye said Dr. Mahmoud Bawomia, and I think so Omampenyi na adodan kwe kufodo. Na memona, and I was saying ebe repeat our yemenimu, and to know or tune for sending over an inch before cry. Now one question show me ye, and yen homework ye pa. Now when you obia will bet to me abuano, a man a batron once and some no et to me a conkai so pesafino, odi in kunima. Yenina san semi so. Na yam for GH Live TV and afa GH Live Radio Online. Aho sepecious kasi eboni in ada NC. In semi se wo call GH Live and I say GH Live TV and a GH Live Radio no ewo Facebook a ubenye bi nso so no ahwe no wo ho ghliveonline.com nso no ye kruchi bi kama e de agu ho amount se ubetumi nso no akenkan ewo ho no mo. Nana Kwame ene de yen call abefo ntentan kese no so. Afa wo digital and I was satellite and so. Madam producer say Mr. Emmanuel, technical team ningina, Abed Neko and I face no prince. Wow, try fear Debresha and so no. Medawasi, midin at the nana achua akoma amwa koma kramo.